Oh, really?
You're filming, by the way.
Filming? Oh, greetings, Austin. It is I, Omnibrennen, back again with another fantastic omnibus video. I'm getting trolled by my coworkers here. It's all right. Well, I was going to start by talking about what was one of my favorite volumes that I was super excited for, but as soon as I got here today, I realized it had already sold out. So I'm just going to hype it up a bit, just because I know we'll be getting more down the line, especially a copy for myself. That is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' Kill or Be Killed. Now, this was a series that started, gosh, was it last year? But I've talked about it on a Throwback Thursday before, and other recommendations videos. This was one of my favorite series. It's very awesome. If you know Ed Brubaker, he partners with artist Sean Phillips a whole lot, and they're great connoisseurs of crime and noir, spy thrillers, that sort of thing. And this was a wonderful series that I oftentimes liken to Breaking Bad, because it features a character, very sort of normal, kind of neurotic guy who... Oh, wonderful. We have a spare copy to show off. Thank you, Trevor. Boom. Look at this wonderful beast. Now, like I said, this copy is spoken for, but we will be getting a lot more, hopefully a lot more of these. I will make sure that we definitely order some. Yeah, like I said, it features a neurotic guy, I kind of forget his name, Dylan, who is just trying to get through life. He's very kind of, he's got a slightly troubled family life. Nothing too dramatic, but a little dramatic. But he starts to get sick. He's in love with his roommate, but his best friend is seeing her at the time, and so it's kind of confusing. And he starts to get sick, and one delirious night, he's approached by this demon, this being, this entity that says, "Kill for me, and you can kill the worst of the worst, murderers, anyone. Feed me, and I'll let you live." And Dylan doesn't know if he's going crazy. And cut to later, he pushes himself to that point and realizes he's better now. He still doesn't know. That's one of the things the series definitely keeps you guessing. Is about the mental state of Dylan. Is what he's seeing real? Is it really this demon, or is he kind of going crazy? But the reason I likened it to Breaking Bad is because throughout that series, like in this series, every attempt the main character makes to dig himself out of the hole he's created for himself, he just keeps digging himself deeper, while gradually you do see the character morph and change mentally over time because of his experiences. It's really well written. The characters are really, really well realized. Sean Phillips' art is top notch, really atmospheric, and sort of creates this wonderful, just sort of bleak, but at the same time beautiful crime noir story, contemporary crime noir story. I highly, highly recommend this. Come check it out. Like I said, I'll be ordering more of the deluxe complete collection. Like I said, it's a complete series, or we've got the 4 paperback series that make up the entirety of that run. 10% off all of these. Yeah, it's fantastic. Come check it out. Another fun volume is, you've heard, DC's Doom Patrol, the Bronze Age collection. As it says here, the Silver Age Doom Patrol series ended in 1968, and so 9 years later, in 1977, we got a return of the Doom Patrol, where we basically... And it was interesting, the way it sort of happened. They definitely got their own series, but there was a lot of sort of hopping across other series. The narrative that they were building sort of built as the Doom Patrol would make appearances in various other characters' series. Of course, another precursor to what we think of as the Doom Patrol today, going into the 80s, that would be the Grant Morrison series, top-notch, a master, a really fantastic run. But yes, this is part of DC's but currently running effort to give nice omnibus collections to a lot of their gold, silver, and bronze age era comics. Including in this series, there are various things that have not been collected for the first time, not been collected before, or doing so here for the first time. Just to kind of give you an idea of how they kind of hopped across all these different series to kind of create this Bronze Age collection. This showcases Doom Patrol stories from Showcase number 94 through 96, the Superman Family 191 through 193, New Teen Titans 13 through 15, DC Comics Presents 52, The Daring New Adventures of Supergirl 7 through 9, Teen Titans Spotlight number 9, Secret Origins Annual, the Doom Patrol, their own series 1 through 18, Doom Patrol and Suicide Squad Special number 1, Superman 20, Doom Patrol Annual number 1, and some pages from the New Teen Titans number 10 and Invasion 2 and 3. You get a new introduction in this as well. Like I said, it's a fun series if you enjoy the Grant Morrison's 80s Doom Patrol, or if you enjoy Gerard Way's current Doom Patrol stuff, or the Silver Age Omnibus. This is your next step. This is a really cool collection. I really like the kind of trade dressing, the sort of funky, sort of neon yet pointillism spine on there. It's a good thing. It's a good series. This Omni sits at $125 cover price. Same thing, gets the 10% off. Let me just hop back real quick because I didn't throw out the Kill or Be Killed deluxe hardback is going to be $49.99. 10% off. Another awesome edition that DC's got coming out this week. Like I said, it's a heavy week for Omnis. There's a lot of stuff coming out this week. Got a couple more for you. This is one of the big ones. This is Darwin Cook's New Frontier. So this is actually the second time they've done an absolute collection for the New Frontier. I've actually got I've got the first volume myself. It's interesting because they've changed the slipcase artwork to this sort of really wonderful new artwork. Yeah, mine. It looks like the spine of the actual book is the same, and in the original version, the artwork that makes up the spine, and I imagine the cover of the actual inside book, wrapped around the entire slip box then as well. But this is, as they tout, the 15th anniversary edition. Darwin Cook, of course, one of DC's great artists, great creators. Aaron Comics in general, this is often considered his magnum opus, his masterpiece, his great footprint on the industry. In the form of DC, The New Frontier. It takes place in the 50s, sort of just post Korean War. You're seeing that sort of wind down of wartime, and you're seeing the sort of rise of McCarthyism and the plummeting into the Cold War era and that sort of thing. And it's an interesting look because, as you can tell from Darwin Cook's sort of artwork and the style of the cover itself, you know, it has this very sort of classic idealistic view on the surface, but it almost kind of gives the impression of propaganda artwork almost, because one thing that this book is got, you know, famous for, one of the geniuses of it, is it challenges the notions of idealism and the sort of rosy-eyed views of the past. So yeah, when you think of the 50s, you think of Superman, you think of these classic golden age heroes, and this sort of takes that idea and sort of challenges the environments that they showed up in. You know, it wasn't the just sort of bright-eyed, you know, 50s at the time, but yeah, you had the dark, you know, the McCarthy inquiries, you had racial tensions, things like that, and this book kind of definitely takes a look at that, as well as sort of the political impact of superheroes of that time, and that's superheroes like Batman, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. You get to sort of see them, their origins come out of this time period, and how it sort of shapes the world around them, and what feels more of a realistic view of that time. It's a lot of fun. The artwork is masterful. Come check it out. This one, $99.99 cover price on that. And just one more here. We've got Albatross's The Goon, bunch of old crap omnibus, volume 2. Now this is the second of the thick paperback omnibus collections they've done for The Goon via Albatross Books. That's Eric Powell's publication company. And yeah, if you know The Goon, you'll know that the title "Bunch of Old Crap" is expresses an attitude that's right up the alley of The Goon. Kind of evokes the imagery of cleaning out an old junk drawer or something like that. But it's a really awesome sort of collection of those earlier volumes of The Goon, which never really took, at least at a lot of times, a sort of narrative through line, but was often just a series of encounters or separated volume stories, but always funny, always ruckus. It features the Goon, sort of a mob goon of sorts, who lives on Lonely Street, and while working for the mob, he's also encountering things like zombies and vampires and monsters, and all of it just sort of seems to cohabitate this world. Some of them bad, some of them just people. Everyone's sort of vying for control or power in some way. And yeah, he's a bruiser of sorts. He's definitely he's tough. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is volume 2. Check out volume 1. They did do some nice large format. I hesitate to call them omnibuses, but that's essentially what they were. Large format hardbacks of these that are long since out of print. But if you're lucky enough to find those, jump on that. But definitely come out and check out the thick paperback omnibus, bunch of old crap omnibus, volume 2. All right, that is a whole lot of omnibus collections and deluxe paperbacks and deluxe hardbacks for 1 week. I am clearly sweating and talking myself silly, and I've got a dry mouth now. My allergies are acting up, so I'm gonna end this video now. Take a long deserved rest. So,
Hold it!
what? No. No.
'Tis I.
No. Where is she?
'Tis me.
No, 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 no.
The favorite Dark Lord's child, Loki's love child, all the evil character love childs in the world. 'Tis I, the multi-formed favorite ghost host. Just guess.
Hi. Welcome to Omnicorner.
Ooh, what the heck happened to you?
Do you see look at all these Omnis. There's so many. There's so many. They're heavy and it's a lot to talk about. I usually talk about 2, maybe 3. I talked about 4. 4 today. And what have you got there?
Your juices all over me. It's gross. I don't approve of it. I have an omnibus which you blatantly passed up.
I thought maybe if I didn't bring it up, I wouldn't run the risk of conjuring you here, but I see ignoring it did the exact same thing.
Oh, no. It did the exact opposite. Of course it was going to conjure me. The fact that I noticed that it was still sitting on the shelf and it wasn't being talked about, I knew immediately. This fool was not going to talk about the Witcher omnibus. Let's all give a round of applause for the fool who wasn't going to talk about the Witcher omnibus. For those
So far,
of us
none of us have talked about it, so what is it about this book?
But a novice, of course he would ask what it's about. Do you not know the Witcher video game series? Hello?
Not even a little bit, nor do I know about the classic book series or the Netflix series that they're coming out with. I don't know anything about any of that.
Is that your sarcasm? Because it was really terrible. So, really quick of a flashback for those who don't really know the Witcher series, aka Brennen. Witchers are supernatural people in the world of continent who have the ability to, like, just fight monsters, like, really well. I know that was a really bad description.
They can fight extra good. Good for you, The Witcher.
No, they have supernatural powers and they're trained at a very young age to go out and fight supernatural monsters.
Sort of their calling is
Yeah,
that
it's sort of their calling. So if you have a supernatural power, congratulations. You're a Witcher. But we mainly follow Geralt. I always horribly mispronounce his name.
Geralt. If I was in the game, that's what I would say. Geralt.
Of Rivia. And that we're mainly following him. And the series actually started as a short story by, again, gonna slaughter this, Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski. God, kill me now, strike me down, because I can't pronounce that name.
Polish god, stop her from this.
There are many. So now that you've been brushed up on kind of the background a little bit, it was turned into three games. So it started out in 2007 all the way up here until 2016, 17. Guys, comment below when that third video game came out. That's actually the only game I haven't gotten to play yet. It is on my PS4, waiting to be played. Y'all know me, I'm an addict for Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and I get very ADD with it. And so, Paul Tobin, we're talking about him again. Good old guy who did I Was the Cat, that I talked about, I believe, like last week in Throwback Thursday. Comes back to write this couple of different stories following Geralt. That too. And of course, if you notice, it's that very Hellboy artist fashion, which I'm sure Brennen can enlighten me on.
I just mean that was a cover for one of the single issues when they were coming out in single issues. That Mike Mignola, who did create Hellboy and all that, he did that cover. It was funny because that cover came out at the same time he was releasing a series called The Witchfinder as part of his Hellboy verse.
Oh yeah, I really
So it created a little confusion for me when I had to find Witchfinder, thinking I was looking for The Witcher because I had seen his artwork on the cover.
No, significantly different.
Very different. That's totally different. It's just a guy that hunts witches versus a guy that hunts witches.
Wow. I'll give you a pass on that because I started out with people who have supernatural powers who fight monsters really good. So I'll give you a pass on that one. This is going to be a collection of, I believe, 1 through 5. Yes, it's going to collect issues House of Glass, Fox Children, and Curse of Crows. Oh, and Killing Monsters, the one-shot, and features a sketchbook section. Ooh! Us nerds here are very excited about it.
That sounds a lot like the Darwin Cook
Oh, for God's sake.
Absolute Edition, you know, in that it includes a whole lot of concept and sketch work, as well as, you know, essays and afterthoughts.
Anyways, I knew he was gonna breeze over this, so I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention, the fellow gamer that y'all know that I am. Yes, you can crucify me for the fact that I have not played the third game yet. I'm very sorry. I'm very behind. Hollow Knight has been very interesting too. If you haven't played that yet, you really do, because they've come out with their second game. But I will play it for surely. But the great thing about game comics is they typically don't follow an exact storyline. If you've ever read the Bloodborne comics, the Dark Souls comics, and now the Witcher comics,
Assassin's Creed too.
Yeah,
like,
Assassin's Creed. They're not necessarily following a direct storyline within like the game itself. They kind of spin off their own thing and come up with their own stories for it.
They kind of take the lore that the games or the books set up, and they kind of build within that lore without touching the main kind of through line.
Exactly. With every now and again, you'll get like main characters featured from that, but you won't get an exact like storyline. For instance, when we read Song of Crows, aka Eileen the Crow's questline or storyline in the Bloodborne comic series, you don't really get necessarily a direct background on Eileen, which is what we kind of thought we were going to get. You just get a very, let's call it trippy, for lack of a better word, story of Eileen's kind of mental wanderings, which is still equally great. So you're not just going to read the game in a book form. That's what's really great about this. You're going to read about the game, but bits and pieces of it, creating new stories, and sometimes following little bits and pieces here or there. I hope that makes sense.
It made a percentage of sense, for sure. For
God's sakes.
Well, that's awesome, and since you are my honored guest, we'll go ahead and give
Well, I would
Witcher
hope so.
here.
I came all the way down here in my pajamas.
What's the... You did. Why are you wearing your pajamas? Like, it's a sweatshirt and your sweatpants and what...
Were you about to say no makeup? I dare you to say no
I wasn't.
makeup.
I would never say no makeup. I would more elaborate. No eyeliner, no eyeshadow, no lipstick, no.
Yes, okay, you can say it. I look like a corpse right now.
I thought that was the goal. I was going to compliment your corpsicity. The way there's the colorlessness of your cheeks.
I do hate blush. Anyways, today we are going to be putting the 15% off on the Witcher Omnibus. Ding, 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 ding,
What's the cover price on that volume there?
Something you can't afford. I'm just kidding. It's only $24.99, and then we take 15% off on it.
That's probably one of the cheapest omnibuses we've ever featured on this video.
Oh God, yeah.
Thanks, Dark Horse. So 15% off The Witcher, 10% off everything else involving Darwin Cook's DC's New Frontier, DC's Doom Patrol Bronze Age Omnibus, the Goon Bunch of Old Crap Omnibus Volume 2, or Kill or Be Killed, the Deluxe Hardback Collection. It is an Omni-heavy week. Oh my god. And it's a lot to sort of deal with. But it's also a celebration because, as I always believe, Omni's for the people. There must be a lot of Omnis to go along. So, I am Omnibrennen.
And I'm your favorite guest host here, Jesse Dusk. Oh yeah, don't forget, we're going to be having our Black Friday sale coming up.
Oh yeah.
Pay attention and look out for those deets when we drop them. Also, we are still planning our Christmas party to be coming up. God, you weakling, you couldn't even hold that? Jeez, you failed.
Just a few seconds was all I could do, and it was...
Lord.
It's a lot, you know? There's like 3 hardbacks in there. 3.
I don't know that struggle because I don't have to lift heavy weights. I'm just gonna, go home and be in my sweats. And try Witcher 3.
Finally, yes. But be on the lookout for details, like she said, about our Christmas party and our Black Friday sale coming up. As always, one of our...
also, don't we have local comic shop day coming up tomorrow? Is that Saturday?
That is this Saturday, that's right. Local comic shop day. Really cool event that retailers will release very limited edition, special edition printings of single issues, toys, graphic novels. For instance, certain graphic novels that only come out in paperback may get a special hardback edition that time, or there was one book that came out with a local comic shop day record, like a vinyl record with music that was meant to accompany the comic. It's weird, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, if you ever wanted to get something sort of limited edition, special edition for some of your favorite series. Come check that out. The earlier the better, because those things will go fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy day, which I won't be here for.
But yeah, just a wonderful, opportunity to get, to help get some attention to local stores, kind of the brick and mortar comic shops like us.
Come and show us some love, because we love y'all, and that's why we give you honorary discounts, because we love you. So it's time to show your love. You're obligated, people of Austin. I'm just kidding. No, you're not. Don't take that seriously.
Repay
please.
our kindness. We are a generous God.
Goddess.
Goddess.
No.
Anywho, that has been Omnicorner, as always.
That has been Manga Monday.
It is not. We're done. We're done with this. It's done. So done.